This month, we recap the majors that were just played at two historic Chicago clubs. The PGA Tour's Kevin Streelman comes home to share advice to kids at Cantigny. We'll take a road trip down to Fritch Lick, Indiana to see some incredible golf. Custom club fitting has come a long way thanks to the state-of-the-art TruSpec. Plus, a new champion was crowned in the Illinois State Amateur Championship. And we'll take a look at a worthwhile IPGA program helping grow the game. Welcome to our August Golf 360 presented by TITO'S Handmade Vodka. We are hosting our show from one of Chicago's most popular and fun facilities, the White Pines Golf Club in Bensonville. All right, being 50 years old now as a touring professional is almost like a rebirth these days. Two major championships for the 50 and over set took place in Chicagoland last month. Let's take a look at the Men's Constellation Players Championship at Exmoor and the U.S. Women's Senior Open at the historic Chicago Golf Club. CB McDonald's Seth Raynard layout in Wheaton is one of the 5 founding clubs of the USGA way back in 1894. This timeless design was the perfect venue for the first ever U.S. Women's Senior Open.
You don't know what to expect when something's new, so you come with a bit of trepidation, but the way the USGA set this up and the way the Chicago golf clubs welcomed us and presented this course in what can only be described as perfect condition it's great for us because a lot of girls don't play that much anymore. I still play on tour, so I see a lot more of it than they do, but I think everyone's just so delighted that it's not been taken seriously because it's a USGA event. We knew that was going to happen, but they've pulled out all the stops. They've made it really special.
And the Joanne Carners, the Nancy Lopez's, I grew up with them as my idols and with the utmost respect because so many of us wouldn't be able to do what we do if it weren't for them. So to have an opportunity to walk the same fairways with them in a major championship at my age is something that I cherish. It's an honor.
Golf is a game you can enjoy at any age, and so why not be able to compete when you're over 50? I think, these days 50 is the new 35, so you're still young enough and your body is still working. Why not have a tournament where you can compete?
Davies was head and shoulders above the field by winning the tournament by a whopping 10 strokes. On the other side of town in Highland Park, the terrific old-fashioned Donald Ross Exmoor Country Club hosted the men's legends in the Constellation Senior Players Championship. 52-year-old University of Illinois men's golf coach Mike Small got right into the mix and was near the top of the leaderboard going into the final round. He reflected on how grateful he is of his career path in not becoming a PGA Tour player.
If I had stayed on tour all those years, 18 years ago, if I wouldn't have started coaching and kept playing the PGA Tour and tried to be out there, I wouldn't have a 100th or 1,000th of the people and the relationships I have today. Because of coaching, I've brought me close to all these great alumni and even people from other schools, all my players, future, present, and former. And to come up here and feel all that support from the friends that I made since I've been coaching. I would have been a journeyman pro.
The tournament went into a playoff with Jeff Maggart and Vijay Singh tied at 20 under par. Singh would go on to claim the title after making a short birdie putt on the second extra hole. Congrats, Vijay, on your first senior major win. Nice work. All right, I think everybody knows Illinois has a few players that are on the PGA Tour, and one of those guys is Winfield's Kevin Streelman, who fell in love with the game when he was a kid working at Cantigny Golf Club in Wheaton.
Last month, Streelman returned to where it all began to help raise funds for the Illinois Junior Golf Association. There was a variety of fun contests and instruction, plus he shared stories and golf insight for tomorrow's players.
This is a place that is near and dear to my heart. This is where I learned how to play the game and walk a golf course. I've done everything at this course, from caddy to work in the pro shop to scrub clubs to run carts. So it's a special place for me. So to come back and give back to the kids and the families that have been so supportive of me and my career is the least I could do.
The drive-in at Cantigny is magical and Chicago's answer to Augusta National's Magnolia Lane. Kevin's path to success in the PGA Tour wasn't nearly this easy or beautiful.
Really 6 years of crisscrossing the country. I drove about 350 to 400,000 miles by myself, burned out 3 cars, driving up, north, south, east, west, everywhere I could to find a tournament to play in. And there was just something deep inside of me in my heart that just said, you need to keep pushing at this.
Having him come out and share his story, which is a really, really awesome story, one that looked, as he would say, pretty bleak for a time, and also one, he even considered hanging it up for some time. So to have him come back and share that story and give that hope to these other kids. We've got about 2,100 members in our association. We run about 150 events. So for them to see a real life example of what could happen. Everyone's not going to make it to the tour, we know that, but to hear a story like his and know it's achievable and attainable from a local kid is pretty special for us.
He's one of our favorite former employees, and that's whether he's been a PGA Tour pro or not. He's just a great quality person, and it doesn't surprise me at all that he's taken out of his time, which is very valuable, taken out of his time to do a full day out here with these kids.
He has plenty of smart advice about the sport we all love so much.
First of all, to make it fun. This game will wear and tear you out. There's ups and downs. There are pitfalls and mountains to climb, and it's an incredible journey. But it's something you learn from every day, the people you meet along the way, which I find is the greatest part of golf. You know, the people you meet, it's incredible. So I think in the end of this all, it's about relationships anyway. And that's what I'm here for. You know, make some new friends, hopefully inspire some kids, and just help them get started on their journey to a lifetime of the game of golf.
Kevin is known to be one of the good guys out there on tour. In fact, it was his idea to do this worthwhile event. Nice work, Kevin. All right, up next, we're going to take an adventure to the unbelievable French Lick Resort in southern Indiana. So stick with us.
Play legendary golf at French Lick Resort, the only place in the country where you can play courses by two Hall of Fame designers on the same property. Our Pete Dye and Donald Ross courses offer two very different challenges. Experience them both and save with our Hall of Fame package. Our two historic hotels are unique as well. Cap it off with a fun visit to the French Lick Casino. Check us out online at FrenchLick.com. Bring a group and save even more. Play legendary golf this season at French Lick Resort.
Before I joined the first tee, the only time I played outside was in a video game.
My mom says I was more stressed out. I think she was too. I felt like any other kid. Now I'm a golfer.
Put a golf club in a young person's hands and watch them grow. At the First Tee, we instill values like honesty, perseverance, and responsibility. Values they learn from golf, but take with them for the rest of their lives. Find out how you can get involved today.
Time to improve your game with tips from the pros, brought to you by the Illinois PGA and Tour Edge.
Hi, I'm Michael Wenzel with the Northbrook Golf Academy, located at Sportsman's Country Club in Northbrook, Illinois. And today I'm going to help you with hitting the ball a little bit farther with your driver. Everybody wants more distance and more consistency, and it all starts with a good routine. So when we're on the golf course, what we need to do is we need to stand back behind the ball, we need to find a target, pick our target line. We're going to get our hands on the club and we're going to go through a 5-step routine. So I'm going to aim at the target. As I walk in, I'm going to keep my eyes on that target. I'm going to step forward. I'm going to lean forward and aim that club face. And then I'm going to get my front foot up. And then I'm going to get my feet apart and get that ball position right in the front of my stance. And to hit the ball a little bit more on the upswing, I'm going to draw my right foot back a little bit and get my feet, knees, and hips to match my stance line. And I'm going to swing a little along my foot line back and through, and I'm going to crush it right down the fairway and hit up on it. Try that tip this summer, and you're going to have a lot more fun on the golf course.
That's some outstanding advice from our friends at the IPGA. Go get some lessons. It'll always help. All right, French Lick, Indiana is so much more than the birthplace of basketball great Larry Bird. It is home to one of the coolest and most unique golf destinations in all of the world. In southern Indiana, you will discover the French Lick Resort and the West Baden Hotel. It was proclaimed to be the 8th wonder of the world when it opened in 1902. The luxurious 243-room hotel has been fully restored to all of its stunning glory. Two considerably different golf courses go hand in hand here. The historic Ross course, designed by the immortal Donald Ross, and the Dye course, from Pete Dye, the architect that changed the mindset of course architecture.
I couldn't believe the West Baden Hotel, the French Lick Springs Hotel, the Pete Dye Golf Course. I mean, this is there's not a blade of grass out of place. Yes, it's very, very challenging, very difficult, but the fairways are perfect. The greens are incredible.
And this is one of the only properties in the country where you can play courses by 2 Hall of Fame designers on the same property, Ross and Dye. So that's a nice little combination for a golfer.
Jane Blaylock is a longtime Women's Tour pro who shifted her focus to the LPGA Legends Tour. This 45 and over group plays a number of tournaments each year and have made the French Lick Resort the home of a major tournament with a friendly field, the LPGA Senior Championship.
Well, it is a great fan experience to come watch us play because, you know, when you're playing on the LPGA, you're so focused on your game and every event because it's, you know, you can't afford to slip up because you might get down on the money list. But now it's just so wonderful to get out and meet the fans, and you can walk with us. You know, we hardly have any ropes. But it's still, you'll be surprised how good some of the players can still play and that we're so competitive.
It's exciting. It's fun. This golf course is very challenging. With the wind conditions, it can be even tougher. But I think we're all up for the challenge. I think everyone is excited.
And these golf courses are open to the public so that everyone can experience these layouts for themselves. Also, not far from town is Sultan's Run Golf Club, a track cut out of the Indiana countryside. And the finishing hole is a real beauty with a cascading waterfall right behind the green. Colin Montgomery won the 2015 Senior PGA Championship and called the Pete Dye course one of the iconic courses in America and one that golfers all over the world will want to play. Built on one of Indiana's highest elevation points, you will experience rugged, intense terrain and immaculate conditioning usually reserved for private courses.
It's always in unbelievable shape. You know, you think of some of the events you play over the years on the tour, and they get ready for just that month. You know, the course is great, and they focus on that the whole time. But this golf course I've been here throughout the year. Last year, I came quite a few times. I hosted the Alice Dye event, and every time I came, the golf course was really good shape.
The Ross course is classic Donald Ross with everything right in front of you. It is the site of the 1924 PGA Championship, and the fun starts in and around the large undulating and demanding greens. The first timers that come here to see the French Lick Resort are in awe of everything that is on the premises. It is an appreciation of the past, meeting today's world.
The vistas, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. And I tell my friends and the other players, you have to come here and see it because I can't put it into words. It's beyond that.
You can see 40 miles in any direction, the lay of the place, and then I take them over to the Donald Ross course to have lunch at Hagen's and to see that. And these guys weren't even hardcore golfers, but they were just blown away by the beauty and by just the different things to do here and just the whole grandeur of it all. So it's definitely worth the trip. And of course, the shoulder seasons, we can play a little earlier and play a little later in the year.
Make your plans to come on down and play some golf. But if you can't play any golf, come down and check out the LPGA Senior Championship in October and enjoy some of that Hoosier hospitality. Up next, we visit my friends at the premier custom club fitters at TruSpec Golf. So stay tuned.
I was thinking about the other day, this whole craze with the Mule has taken off, say, in the last 5, 6, 7 years. And for me, the history goes back to when I first started with TITO'S Handmade Vodka. There's a gentleman who's a good friend of mine, Jim Borchers. He used to be the general manager at the Lodge. And Jimmy came to me and he says, Eric, he says, I got an idea. People love the vodka, but we need a hook. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? He goes, well, there used to be this old drink called the Moscow Mule that I sold when I was growing up in the business. And I said, what's it got in it? I had no idea. Listen, we put ginger beer in it, a lime, but I need some copper mugs. And this is before this whole craze of whiskey mules and gin mules and flavored mules had gone on. As I look back on how TITO'S Handmade Vodka started, for me, I didn't think there was anybody else doing that drink, certainly not in the 18 states that I represented. So that was sort of the beginning of a trend here in Chicago that we kind of started. So we were talking about that today, and I wanted to toast you and your friendship, and thanks for being out here today, Bob.
Custom club fitting certainly has come a long way in recent years. With state-of-the-art technology and the advent of interchangeable shafts and club heads, it's easy to mix and match to get what's right for your game. TruSpec is a company at the forefront of today's precision club fitting.
And we're going to ask them a series of questions to get to understand what they're looking for out of their game. Whether that's asking them what's going on in their current set from a launch perspective, are they able to hold greens if they're looking at irons, are they looking for more distance, are they looking for better dispersion, are there misses to the right or to the left? All of these questions help me understand where I need to go, possibly in a fitting.
Everything that I fit into through TruSpec has really opened my eyes to how important this is. Prior to joining this company, I didn't necessarily understand how much goes into building a golf club, what it takes, but there's a lot behind the scenes that has to go on to make these things correct.
Also at the new Chicagoland TruSpec location, you will discover Movement 3. Their ingenious gear system breaks down the way a shaft reacts, as well as all the vital tendencies in your swing.
One of the unique relationships that we have here is, unlike anything else in the country, in the standpoint of the highest grade biomechanical, driven analysis tools. So what we're able to find first touch on the golf club and how that actually interferes or reacts to the actual shot itself.
Scott Anderson is also a very good player, competing in a number of top amateur tournaments. He came in to see if the guys could help him find a new 3-wood that fills a distance gap and gives him versatility off the tee.
What we're going to do is we're going to start essentially trying to find the most ideal head for you. And then once we feel pretty secure that we've narrowed that head down to 1 or 2, then from there we're going to start trying to marry the shafts.
Obviously, I kind of knew the direction it would go in my head, just knowing what those heads did, but I still hadn't been through a testing process all year. That head really did surprise me when I compared it to other ones, just seeing how it put me in the right launch conditions and the right spin conditions to achieve what I needed to. Mike's a great fitter in Chicago. I've started working with Rick on my golf game, so combining those two platforms is very powerful.
What's nice is that they have unbiased opinions on club manufacturers. With a launch monitor, the truth will be told. The numbers don't lie. TruSpec suggests what clubs to try, and they'll tell you if your clubs that you have already are the right ones for your game.
It's not a matter of the customer coming in and just getting fit and sending them on their way. I want to be there for you throughout your playing career. So I'm following up with you. I want to see how the clubs are performing. I know what I fit is right, and the feedback I've gotten has been phenomenal. A lot of guys are loving their clubs. And again, if we get something that's slightly off, come back in. We're going to make it right for you.
Trust me, those guys at TruSpec really do know how to fit you for the right clubs. Michael got me fitted up, and it has improved my game. So head down to Highland Park to check them out. Amateur tournament golf is the grassroots of this competitive game. The Chicago District Golf Association holds many events throughout the state, including the recent 88th annual Illinois State Amateur Championship. Our Dave Lockhart has more.
This year, the State Am moved downstate a bit to the Bloomington Country Club. The 36 holes played on the final day would determine who would be the best amateur in the land of Lincoln. Jordan Hahn of Spring Grove, Illinois, found himself in a familiar position with a 3-stroke lead. He had a 4-stroke lead going into the final round last year and couldn't close the deal.
Last year was a good learning experience, being in contention. It's hard to win golf tournaments, and being in contention a few times has really helped me and got that underneath the belt.
Joliet's Trent Wallace, who goes to school right here at Illinois State University, was Hahn's closest pursuer, and they entered the final round all tied up. But Wallace couldn't seem to get his game on track and slipped with a final round 75. Glenview resident and Miami of Ohio left-hander Charlie Lakitas pushed his way into the first page of the leaderboard with a sparkling 4-under par 67 that left him just 2 shots out of the lead.
My back nine today was fantastic. Definitely gives me some confidence rolling in. I've got USAM qualifying in a few days, so definitely just going to bring that. Unfortunately, I didn't get the job done, but definitely a great week for sure.
Bloomington native Rob Wietrich, an Illinois Wesleyan sophomore, put together a gutty 1-under par round sinking a clutch putt for birdie on 17, then a tough par putt on 18 to put him within a whisker of winning the title.
2 good rounds today, 2 solid rounds. Couldn't be happier. Played pretty well, putted well. I mean, got myself in some bad spots and was able to get out of them with, par, bogey. Had to make a couple long bogey putts to keep doubles clean, but I mean, overall, it was a great day today just to put myself in that position.
Hahn, at 6 foot 6 inches tall, attempted to overwhelm the tree-lined 6,600-yard Bloomington layout by hitting driver off many of the tees and gave himself a 5-stroke cushion on the back 9. However, his lead slowly evaporated with a few bogeys, leaving him with a 1-shot lead on 18. After his first putt came up short, he was faced with a tricky 6-footer for the win.
That was an easy putt. I was on the fringe, and the leave I gave was not good. I didn't want to leave it short of the hole because I knew I had a downhill slider, and unfortunately that's where I left it. But my caddy and buddy Pete Cool gave me a good read, and I was just committed to that line and poured it in. There's a lot of big names that have won this event, and I'm lucky enough to add mine to it, so couldn't be more excited.
Congrats to Jordan Hahn, the University of Wisconsin senior, on his big win. And in 2019, the championship moves to the beautiful Cantigny Golf Club. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at a simple way you can help support youth golf in Illinois.
Introducing the Hot Launch 3 driver by Tour Edge. Available in a powerful cup face design and a slice-killing offset model, HL3 drivers are loaded with state-of-the-art technology. Tests prove HL3 drivers perform as well as competitors that often cost twice or 3 times as much. Hand-built in the USA and backed by a lifetime warranty. The HL3 driver by Tour Edge. Get fit, spend less, play better.
The first tee can teach young people how to hit a driver or how to stop a ball out of a bunker. But true success is measured by how well they perform off the golf course, by how well they use values like confidence,
My name is Kyla.
perseverance, and integrity in their daily lives.
I think you left your wallet.
The first tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but even more important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttee.org.
Time to improve your game with tips from the pros, brought to you by the Illinois PGA and Tour Edge.
Good morning. I'm Emil Esposito, PGA golf professional and teaching golf professional over here at the Glen Club, Glenview, Illinois. This thumb and finger of the right hand are pressure fingers right there. So for you to get the feel of what I'm talking about as far as controlling this golf club, you must take the thumb and finger off the club. These are pressure fingers, and this is part power. So what we're going to do is by taking them off, that's going to allow you to feel the left hand go back and the left hand go through. I can tell you honestly, the left hand in the game of golf is as important as the steering wheel to your car. Okay, so here I am with Pat. We're going to work a little bit on trying to get him to feel the left hand and what I'm talking about. So we're going to have him take the thumb and finger off the club. It's almost like pointing your thumb and finger down to the ground like a gun. So now we're going to take it off. Let's hit a couple of balls, Pat. What you're going to start feeling is that he's not going to be able to swing as hard as he was before, but we're just taking this off so he can feel what the left hand's supposed to do. You can see his tempo when he's taking it back. The club is in a great position going back and through. He's not forcing the club to hit the ball. Back and through. You can tell, you can hear the sound of the way the club is hitting the ball, how solid the ball is being hit. Because Pat's golf swing, and he's a 3 handicap, he's not the type of guy that's going to knock it all over the golf course. His power is there. He wants to keep that ball in play as much as he can. When you do that, that left hand is really controlling it. That's it. That's perfect.
All right, thanks for the tip, Emil. Won some money on the golf course last week. Your check's in the mail, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Back in 2008, the Illinois PGA's Rom Dauphiné and Trey Van Dyke came up with a smart initiative to help raise money for junior golf. The Youth Golf License Plate Program has really helped make a difference and grow the game. A license plate is more than just letters or numbers for identification and registration of your car. It is a way to show off your vehicle and make it stand out. Thanks to this ingenious program, many dollars have been raised to subsidize youth golf throughout the state of Illinois.
A portion of all the proceeds of the license plates, new plates or renewals, goes to support youth golf. And the Illinois PGA Foundation takes those funds and provides grants to groups like the First Tee of Greater Chicago, the Illinois Junior Golf Association, and Maryville Golf Academy.
The license plate funds really help us reach kids that otherwise wouldn't have access and opportunity to learn the game of golf. We take the game to where kids are so they can be exposed to the game, but more importantly, the life lessons that golf teaches.
It's also a tremendous opportunity to get that vanity plate that you've always wanted. For instance, here's longtime Illinois PGA pro Tim O'Neill's plate that serves as an important golf tip.
That STLOP stands for what I feel is the #1 fundamental to really good golf, and that is sustain the lag on playing. And all it means is that once that club head goes behind your hands, in the backswing, that you should try and keep it behind those hands as long as possible. To me, I think the #1 reason that people have trouble with golf is that that club head gets out in front of them too soon in the downswing.
The First Tee of Greater Chicago runs a number of events, such as this one at White Pines Golf Club, teaching kids the game and the all-important core values in life. It's an initiative that means a great deal to these youngsters and their families. Andy Schumann, director of golf at Twin Orchard Country Club, has a sweet set of wheels with an Illinois youth golf license plate, which proudly displays his nickname. Not everyone can have such a cool car, but that doesn't stop him from encouraging his friends in the golf business and his members to sign up for this meaningful program.
You know, Patrick, it's just an easy way to support youth golf. You know, we do whatever we can, and the Illinois PGA Foundation does such a great job. It's just so simple to get the plate and to support youth golf, and I really like the way the plate looks.
So to purchase a plate, you simply go to the Illinois Secretary of State's license plate and select specialty plate. I'll give you one little secret. I think it's one of the best ways to get a personalized plate out there. So if your personalized plate concoction is taken up by a regular state plate, you can probably find it in a Support Youth Golf license plate.
If you love golf and you want to see golf continue to expand in the future, I would encourage you to support that youth golf license plate.
What a great idea to dress up your car and support such a solid cause that benefits the youth in the game. Thanks so much to our host, the 36-hole White Pines Golf Club here by O'Hare Airport. And please check us out on the web at linksvideo.net/golf360 and on Instagram and Facebook. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you out on the course.